The Ghana Tourism Society held a media launch to inaugurate its organization after 6 years. As another fundamental aspect of the launch, the organization collaborated with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the Ghana Tourism Authority, and the Ghana Education Service in promoting the rejuvenation of tourism clubs in educational systems. The event themed Tourism Club, a relevant channel for rethinking domestic tourism, was graced with dignitaries, including Honorable Gifty Chum Ampofo, the Deputy Minister of Education in charge of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, Benedicta Yevu, the Director in charge of Cultural Education Units of the Ghana Education Service Accra, Joseph Amate, the Executive Director of the Tourism Society of Ghana, and the Board Chairman of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Dr. Seth J. Joseph Amate, the Executive Director of the Tourism Society of Ghana, shared the vision of the organization and also the reason for the event.
The Society of Ghana has been in existence since 2006. We started as a pilot project because we realized that there was a problem that needed to be solved. Actually coming out of every business is about solving a problem. So what is the problem? We saw a gap, a very huge gap between academia and industry. And for that matter, we said, how do we bridge that gap between academia and industry? More especially, how do we also encourage Ghanaian youth to patronize domestic tourism? Looking at that, we realized that the best sector we can start from is the young ones, especially the school-going ages. And where do we get these school-going ages? Within the educational institutions. So on that note, we dialogue with Director General of Education, and we showed our intent with the education sector. They bought into it, and then we had to kickstart from there. So that is how it all started. We identify a problem, and we intend solving the problem. That is why Tosoga came into existence. The Rejuvenating of this tourism club, it came out because after the COVID-19, many tourism sectors were hit so hard, and also we were hit hard. On that note, we need to go on silent, find strategies. How do we come back again to make sure we continue the good work that we have been doing? On that note, we have to engage stakeholders or partners, which our major partner is the Ghana Education Service and Ministry of Education, and then the Ghana Tourism Authority. We had a stakeholder engagement, and we dialogue with them that what can we do? And at the end of the day, our concept was bought as to how to rejuvenate it. And then, of course, the Ministry of Tourism, Ghana Education Service, and Ghana Tourism Authority all supported the idea that we really need to encourage Ghanaian children to really patronize domestic tourism. On that note, we put up this very concept to do this media launch, to tell the world that COVID hit us hard, but by God's grace, we are now back on our feet, and we have some few good news for the public. And
the Deputy Minister for Education enlightened how domestic tourism can be promoted in various schools. She further expressed disappointment in how Ghanaians are adopting and promoting the culture of the Western world.
We love tourism, but what is missing is we are quick to patronize in tourism of other countries, but not our own domestic tourism. So it is important that we rejuvenate the interest. And once the youth get the interest in domestic tourism, we know the same youth who grow to be adults. So what they have gained, they will transcend that to their children. In tourism or getting tourism clubs in the school, it is a way of introducing our young people to areas and what transpires there. Because when you visit any tourism center, at least you meet the people of the area, you learn the way they live. And it's also important that as they get to the tourism centers, all the food and the things we do there should depict the culture of the people. And once we do that, we know that we're going to sell our country the length and breadth to our youth. And at the end of the day, we're going to improve on our tourism, and we're going to understand the way various people of various areas live their lives in the country. Again, tourism is a lot of stress among our people. In recent time, people get too much stressed out, and you find men killing their wives and wives poisoning their husbands, all because they are stressed out. But if we have tourism, and we know that after a period of time, we can't just sit in our small rooms or small homes. We need to go out there to interact with nature. All these will calm us down, will develop our brains better, because there's too much pollution even in the city. When you travel to the countryside where you have most of our tourists centers, they come back and be more refreshed, and all the stress of the pressures at home will go down. I encourage everybody to be part of this domestic tourism. Once you do that, you could educate others to follow suit. You can't tell somebody to visit a particular tourist site when you don't know there and you don't have a story to tell. So let all of us, parents, let's encourage our children. Let's take them there. And when you're taking them there, let there be a lot of fun so that they always love to be there. And once you do that, we sell our country and we sell our food and we make better interaction.
Benedicta Yevu, the director in charge of Cultural Education Unit of the Ghana Education Service Accra, also disclosed plans of the sector to help people in promoting democratic tourism.
Most of these clubs, they have patrons, and they don't usually have one single patron. They have a male and a female patrons who travel with them to wherever they are going. The issue is how to keep their interest in tourism in Ghana, domestic tourism. Because you know that so many people, even at adult age, have never had the opportunity of visiting anywhere in Ghana. The reason is that not because they cannot really afford it, but because they do not have the desire. They've not actually been introduced to it. That is why, being on the board, I'm going to use my office to make sure that we introduce this to our children as early as possible, so that when they get the desire and then they wish to be part of it, it will be very easy. You know, as somebody just said, catch them young. When we catch them young, by the time they complete school and enter into various endeavors, they would already have gotten themselves the interest of wanting to to go to places of attraction in country. You know, most of the people who can afford it travel all the way to Dubai. And what are they going to look for? What they're going to look for in Dubai, we have better ones right here in Ghana. So, but it's because they've not been taught, they've not learned it, they've not acquired, developed the interest in it. And that is exactly what we are about to do. We will make sure that they develop the interest. We'll introduce them to our indigenous Ghanaian cuisines, our dances, our traditional wares, anything that is so much attractive about Ghana. Why should Ghana be a place of attraction to English-speaking Africans anytime they want to come for tourism? Why then are we rather the host, sitting aloof and not taking advantage of it? So we'll make sure the children learn right from the beginning to take advantage of it. They will get a desire, they will love to do it, and then they will grow with it. And then very soon, it will no more be, I'm going to Dubai, I'm going to Paris, I'm going to Abidjan or whatever. We all want to be in Ghana, and we will enjoy being in Ghana.